3.
All right, welcome Cards fans to another edition of the Third Banner Pod. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. It is 108 days until it's Brahms away time and we beat Kentucky in football. So looking forward to that. But first up, we got 3 of us on here tonight. Me, Connor, and Ross. We're ready to talk about some conference realignment and some shenanigans going on at practice we hear. What's going on, guys?
Nothing much. I thought you were going to say it's 108 degrees down there and where you're staying.
Yeah,
it probably is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty damn hot.
Yeah.
On my way home, I checked my phone and it said 106. So I don't know what the heat index. I don't know what that was, but
what's the SWAS index? Stu stays sweaty, man, and weather like that, there ain't no way around it. You better just bring an extra pair of
it was hot
underoos.
I was having some problems with my Jeep overheating the last few weeks too. So,
oh man,
yeah.
What kind of Jeep?
I got a Wrangler.
Oh, cool. Yeah, me too, man.
Yeah,
I love my Wrangler.
Yeah, me too, man. I bought mine. Mine's a 2016. I've had it for a while, but man, I don't know if I ever want to get rid of it, to be honest.
Yeah, mine's a 15. It's pretty awesome. I just ride around. Everybody's like, every time you take the doors off, it always rains. And I'm like, the doors stay off.
And?
What are you talking about? I'm like, I don't put the doors on. Like, they just stay off. I'm like, it's a Jeep. It's going to get wet.
Well, and people always look at me nuts because I'll take the top off when it's real hot out. And people are like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't care. I like the wind in my face, you know?
Yeah. Right,
so
right.
Doors are off anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, my wife don't let me take the doors off in town too much because she gets nervous about it. But sometimes I do it when I'm going out by myself anyway. But
yeah,
I want to get the little half doors, but she kind of frowns on that. We'll see.
You just got to get those the bar doors.
Yeah, that's what I want. But she says no still. So
just the framing.
We'll yeah, the little tube doors or whatever.
Yeah,
there's a guy a couple doors down from
it
me that has them. And I'm like, see right there. That's what I want.
Yeah, just go on Marketplace and find some for cheap. People are always
I never thought to look there. That'd be a good spot though.
Oh yeah, you can get some there.
Just make sure you don't get scammed on Marketplace.
Yes, I'm not gonna be buying no hunting boots or nothing. So.
Yeah, don't want to be getting scammed by no hunting boots.
Yeah,
tis.
Little insider jokes going on.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's going on, guys? Like, what do you guys? I heard some shenanigans are going on in practice the last couple of days. What's going on with that?
This juice is better than the last juice. I can tell you that.
What's up, Couch House?
You got any insights, Connor?
I don't.
He's supposed to get the scoop.
Oh, shit. I had the other one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing. So yeah, apparently sounded like yesterday they got into it like 2 or 3 times. Apparently Stephen Herron was standing up for the defense for Papa Williams. And, there was some back and forth there and they broke it up after a few minutes. And then next play, what happened? Apparently, Herron ran across the field and blindsided some dude. I don't know, man.
Didn't Minkins get run over too, and then he got thrown out of practice for fighting?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of – listen, man, I'm just going to say it. I'm with you, Connor. Like, I will take this all day over the BS that we've dealt with the past 3-4 years with SAT. Because you're telling me right now these dudes are literally about to – tear each other's heads off. What do you think they're going to do when you get a real opponent in front of them? It's the first one. They're going to come out there and literally rip dudes' faces off. Like, we are going to beat the ever-living piss out of Georgia Tech. Like, they're going to be so ready to light them up. It's going to be so awesome to see. I cannot wait.
And right now, Georgia Tech, is too worried about their new naming rights of their football field, and if their donors are going to get mad that it's Bobby Dodd Stadium at Hyundai Field.
Usually it's the other way around when you do the naming rights. Usually the field is like named after the coach or whatever. And
Yeah. So
the
it's Bobby
company's
Dodd Stadium
it's kind
at
of
Hyundai.
awkward.
Yeah,
It's
whatever.
kind of like they were like the last school to have like Russell Athletic as their shoe sponsor or whatever.
On NCAA 13, they were still a Russell school. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
We got
Them
ponies.
and Western, I think, were the only two for like a long time there at the end.
Yeah, but the reason Western was because Western got a deal because Russell was in Bowling Green.
Oh, I didn't even know where they were.
So they got all like the new stuff from Russell. They got all of like the like quote unquote brand name stuff. Like they got the good stuff from
Go
Russell.
buy your authentic apparel at Big Lots.
Yeah. Oh man.
That's
well,
mean.
yeah. I mean, here's the thing. So yeah, apparently yesterday Brom like got in their ass, like it had a few expletives to share for like 2 or 3 minutes after it happened for like a third time, and then made them like all go run. And then apparently today was that yesterday or was that today?
I thought that was yesterday. I thought they did up downs yesterday, and
they ran yesterday.
I thought they did both.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe they did. I'd see it that way. I was reading it earlier this morning was that stuff cracked off again this morning, but maybe people were just talking about yesterday still.
Was practice open today?
No, but but there were still like I thought there were reporters there and stuff still though, weren't there?
I think so. I think Griever was there.
Oh no, practice was open today, wasn't it? Or is that tomorrow?
It was either locally, so I don't pay attention really.
It was either open today and not open tomorrow, or not open today and open tomorrow, something like that.
Yeah. Either way, Brom's getting them together, and I'm all here for it. They're gonna come out like rabid dogs. God, I feel so bad for Georgia Tech.
How fitting is that we're gonna be playing in Georgia?
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be nasty, man. I don't know, man. I just don't think they stand a chance. And where I was like, I thought maybe it would be one of those things where we win the first and third, or really pull away in the second, third quarter, and kind of let them come back in the fourth. I don't know, man. We might get so far ahead that it's just never a game. They're gonna be so primed and amped and ready to go. I mean, this is gonna be great, man. We haven't gotten to see this in so long. It's not the gee golly shucks, like they just said a better football team we ever thought, blah, blah, blah. And come out here and blow your load before you suck, man. God, I hate that. I hate that guy so bad. I hate him so bad. I'm so glad he's gone. God, I hate him.
I still can't believe that I woke up one day and he was just gone.
Well, and I couldn't believe just where he went. I mean, going to fucking Cincinnati. I mean, I don't know, man.
That's a worse fit there than it was here.
Yeah,
that was always my thing. I was like,
what are you guys doing? Like,
well, I mean, they were in a tough spot, because they needed to get a coach, and that's the whole.
Shit, you could have got one better at like Moeller or something.
Maybe,
hey, at least they would recruit the city.
Yeah, he sucks in so many ways. God, he's such a phony and a fraud. Like I'm sorry, but we got sold a bunch of bill of goods that he was the perfect fit here, and I'm like, no, he ain't. No, he's not a fit here. I always said that, and he never was. He was never a fit. It all came to a head real quick. So
after his flirtationship with South Carolina.
Well, and then that rolled right into 2020 and COVID and all the protests that were going on in the city. And that's when shit really came to a head, because other people in the family started going on making their opinions known
on Twitter.
Yeah. And they got absolutely ripped for it. You know, and that behavior is what I feared. Why he was a bad fit here. I kind of feared all of that all along. So
yeah,
anyway.
that's one of the good things about the Brahms. They're not really on social media,
Brady
other than Brady, obviously.
yeah. Other than Brady,
but like everybody else is not.
no.
Yeah.
Like you don't have
and
Jeff like tweeting.
Macro here says, I'm happy to hear guys are fighting. Championship teams are highly aggressive and competitive during camp. I mean, that's basically what Ross was saying.
Yeah.
Totally agree with that. Love to hear our guys have a lot more fire and passion out there than, going and reading in book clubs and stuff like that. So,
I mean, listen, I don't want us to have murders on the team, all right? But go look and revisit the stories from the Urban Meyer Florida teams. Holy shit. Like, there was a lot of crazy shit going on there. Like, those teams were getting after each other on the practice field every day. Like, getting after it.
Speaking of, this is not an ad, but the Untold Stories of the Florida Gators is coming out on August 26th, something like that.
Oh, that'll be good.
On Netflix?
That'll be good.
I thought Johnny's was good yesterday.
I haven't seen it. I almost pulled the trigger and watched it before the pod tonight, but
it's a little slow, but
I haven't watched it yet.
But when they get to like when he was making money, like Ash, you understand what I'm about to say. Working in college athletics, you know that it's happening. You just don't know how it's happening.
Yeah, just put your blinders on and let it.
And his business partner had a very good lie that he told the NCAA. I'll just leave it at that and let you all watch it.
What's what you're supposed to do?
Was it as good as in another anonymous school that's not too far away where they brought his best friend and gave all the best friend all of players' money, so the player wasn't getting paid. All the money was going to said, friend. And then after the friend was a huge problem on campus, they kicked him off of campus after the first semester. I don't even think he finished the first semester. He moved back to Oregon or Washington. Yeah. Anybody that's been around knows who I'm talking about, which recruit that was. So, anyways, I don't know. It's everybody's known this. That's why I'm glad that NIL is like a thing now, because we don't have to sit there and try to make believe and pretend that we're these shining beacons of integrity anymore. Like, who cares? Like, I understand there's logistics to it, but we don't have to hide all the BS anymore. What really matters is winning, and it's the money, and it's always been like that. And we've had to hide under this guise that it's all about amateurism, and it's bullshit. Like, it's always been BS. I'm sorry. I've never believed it, and I'm glad that NIL's here. So,
well, and here's the thing, like, I mean, the most fun teams to kind of watch were those old, like, late 80s Miami Hurricane teams, and they weren't choir boys. So, like,
when they were back in the U days,
I'm perfectly fine with embracing a little bit of a rogue culture, for the program, as long as we don't get in trouble, So.
And
let's win some ball games.
I know the people that are running 502 circles, so I think we're good.
Good. But I mean, I would like to do it legitimately. I don't want to be doing stuff that's shiesty, you know what I mean? But do it legitimately, and let's do it better than everybody else does it. You know what I mean?
I just don't mind if I guys have a little bit of swagger and going out there and maybe not big choir boys. That's kind of what I'm saying. But
you mean like? Never mind.
You ain't gotta say it, Connor. I almost called you Kyle because I'm looking at the chat over here, and Kyle keeps posting, so then I almost called you Kyle.
Oh, shucks.
Yeah, there it is.
What's up, Tron, Mike, Couch House, UofL 248. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Coach House. Hey, I don't know if he's in here right now, but happy belated birthday to Uncle Larry, Louisville legend Uncle Larry.
Happy birthday.
So happy birthday to him. y'all will go and wish him a happy birthday on Twitter and Facebook and what other social medias Larry's on. I don't know, but you go wish him a happy birthday.
We'll go to Waffle House. Go hang out with him at Waffle House.
I get to see him soon during tailgating. I know he'll be there. So
it is. It is August 9th. The first game is the first home game is in 30 days.
Man, can't wait. I can't wait.
Man, so, I wish I lived close enough to be out there every week with you guys.
Sorry, it's September 7th, not September 9th. September 9th is Saturday.
We're under 30 days then.
Yeah. Well, if your Jeep's overheating, if you leave now, you might make it out of all the times you have to stop.
No, it was doing pretty good today. I looked at it. Actually, the weekend before last, we were when my dad was down, we were looking at it, and I think we got it. So
that's good. Maybe it was a thermostat or something.
Yeah, we did. We replaced the thermostat, but I don't think that was it. There was a hose that we ended up finding an issue with, and we replaced that. But anyway, we're gonna bore everybody talking about our Jeeps.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's August, right? I mean,
it's close enough that you can taste the season, but not close enough to where like there's daily daily stuff.
Yeah, you can taste the seasoning, unlike Canes. So,
you guys,
I think Ty has to work tonight, so
you can taste the season, unlike Canes.
I'll eat me some Canes if it's there.
I'll eat it if somebody buys it for me. I ain't buying that.
Yeah.
Zaxby's is better than Cane's.
I haven't been to Zaxby's in like 7 or 8 years.
School lunch chicken nuggets are better than Cane's, really.
So the other interesting news of the week, is kind of the Stanford and Cal and now SMU talks. What are you guys thinking about that?
I don't know. Like, I don't know what to. So here's my thing on the surface of it. To me, I used to be so into conference realignment, and I'm not burned out now by any chance. But to me, this feels like a very reactionary thing. It doesn't feel proactive, which is how you need to be if you're going to win in the conference realignment type stuff. Now, I know, Jurich getting us in the ACC, that maybe was not proactive per se, but it ended up working out really well. Like the ACC had a chance to be out on the forefront, and it really could have taken the legs out from the Big 12, but they sat around, and whether it was a matter of the teams that were in the Big 12, in the ACC not wanting to add members because they didn't feel like they had brought value or what. I don't know. I mean, look, in hindsight's always 20/20, right? But like, it sure as hell would have been nice if you could have gotten Oklahoma State and Kansas for basketball and Baylor, like getting some of those schools to come in the ACC. You could have done that. But there was talk of, well, they don't bring anything value-wise to the television contracts. Like,
but now you're going to bring in Stanford, Cal, and SMU instead.
Yeah,
the only thing SMU has is the Dallas
DFW.
Market.
Yeah, it's the DFW.
Other than money.
Well, and here's the thing though that's kind of crazy about SMU is like they've got so much money to spread around for NIL and stuff. If it comes down to just basically buying players, we might see a return to pre-death penalty days of SMU at some point because, they can buy some guys.
I'm just going to throw this out there. I talked to some people today, and there's a good chance that the NIL stuff that we're seeing right now is going to die off very quickly. And
so what does that mean?
And the 6-figure, $100,000, $400,000, $500,000 deals are not going to happen.
I don't think they're really happening all that much now anyways. I think kids are being sold a bill of goods. Most people.
I think that a lot of people are going to get tired of not being able to deduct it because it's not going to be tax deductible.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be weird as a business expense from their business, because people are going to question, well,
are you truly marketing? Like,
yeah, or was this an employer relationship at some point?
Yeah, what's your return on investment? And I think that's where donors are going to get burnt out, and NIL is just going to end up being whatever local business that you have, and then probably your biggest donor. That's what it's going to end up being. Or this is very worst case scenario, which obviously isn't going to happen. The federal law is written, which I'm going to go out and say is not going to happen. And then NIL is absorbed by the university, and everything is taken, I guess, tax deductible, quote unquote, because you're paying to the university. But the NCAA is going to have their guardrails on it, because the NCAA is going to essentially write whatever bill is going to be in Congress.
I wouldn't trust them to write a parking code law. They're so bad. I mean, Jesus. I mean, that would be worst case scenario if, I don't know.
And from what I've been told, the national bill is not going to happen. 100% not going to happen. Last week, they had meetings for a Plan B in Indianapolis with a bunch of constituents. Now, who those constituents are, I don't know. But that did happen last week, and we're supposed to get a memo at some point. I thought I was supposed to get it last week, but obviously that didn't happen.
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's plenty more things that we need government worrying on than NIL, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, apparently Marco Rubio is going to try to get this waiver signed for some FSU kid. Like, I don't think that's going to work either, but whatever.
Marco Rubio has aliens to worry about right now. Okay, listen, the truth is out there, and we need him to get to the bottom of it. So I'm just gonna say that, Rubio, you and the others do your thing, what you're doing. So we're not going to divulge into that, because this is sports, UofL sports, but aliens.
Yeah, you guys are talking about the boring shit now.
Mothership's coming down. Rubio.
Is the rapture happening too?
We were like, no, we just got Brom. Come on, damn
it. Give us like
we can't have anything nice. We give
us
Brom,
like
and then it's the rapture. Son of a bitch.
Give us like 4 years, and then you can come back. It'll be fine.
Oh man.
Let's see here. What do we got going on in the chat here? Let's bring it up. We got, I don't know what Ty's talking about. Don't tempt me. Something about Cane's. Kyle says, I bet Ty made a name the greatest fast food restaurant of all time Jeopardy game with Cane's as an answer. I hope not, because as much as people in our group hate Cane's, that'll be a 30-minute monologue on how bad Cane's is.
X-Files song intensifies.
Macro says John Swofford failed to ACC when he focused on trying to make it a basketball super conference. This is probably the most, the best point that we've made on it so far. Thanks, Macro, for chiming in.
Yeah.
Definitely, the school's trying to shoehorn it into still being more of a basketball-centric league. Definitely were to its detriment. We all know which schools did that. Basketball hasn't driven the bus for a long time, as much as we love, we do love basketball here. But, they need to, they needed to be thinking football first for a long time in the ACC, and they haven't.
Because football essentially, without getting too deep into it, subsidizes every other sport on campus except men's and women's basketball.
Yeah. Well, basketball only at a very few schools does that. drive anything.
Actually make money. Like,
I mean, hell, whenever, I mean, not to get off too off subject, but when I worked at Ole Miss in athletics, we actually had more season ticket holders for baseball than we had for basketball.
Oh, 100%. Because Mississippi loves baseball.
Was this the Marshall Henderson days?
No, it was post Marshall Henderson, but yeah, we averaged 10,000 people a game for baseball, and I mean it is like 6 or 7 for basketball. So
yeah, Mississippi loves baseball, just like the state of Kentucky loves basketball. But have we been relevant in basketball the last 4 years? No.
I mean, hell, like it's been 6 or 7 years since we won a damn game in the tournament. So
hell, we were number 1 team in the country, and then shit went downhill.
Yes, very quickly.
The last time I can really remember us being somewhat relevant in basketball was, you remember that Duke game in, what was it, 2020?
No, it wasn't 2020.
2019.
Yeah.
When we blew that.
I was in the student section with Eric Woodhead.
I was in Moorhead, and we went up 30, and I took a shot to make sure that I wasn't in a dream.
I was in a casino in the bar in Spokane, Washington, and I was sitting there, and I was like, I had several hard ciders in, because they had a really good hard cider on tap, which are very common out there. To have a bunch of ciders on tap, but and I had kind of gotten obnoxious in the first half, and then we blew that lead, and like people kept giving me shit, so it was like, I'll never forget that. But that sucked.
Yeah, I'll never forget being right behind the basketball goal and watching them just eat their way back into our lead, just like we couldn't do anything to stop it. Just Zion and Cam Reddish and RJ Barrett just serving us the good stuff. I was like, man.
Ty, you bring up an excellent point that, obviously realignment is such a tough situation. Football drives everything. The moves are fine for football, but every other sport takes a serious back seat. And that's definitely, couldn't have hit the nail more on the head, because as I start looking about toward the future, it's like, what's going to become of, say, like, college baseball is something I always really get into. What's going to come of like the Cal State Fullertons and Long Beach States, these perennial top baseball programs. They're in these lower level leagues. Like, what are they going to do? In 10 years, are we even going to be in the same division or whatever? I mean,
so Olympic sports, I'll be honest with you, Stanford helps that a lot, because Stanford is really good at all their Olympic sports.
Yeah.
But
I'm talking not necessarily on an ACC level. I'm talking more on a national, for instance, like college baseball level.
Yeah.
Like, where are these schools going to be? Like, are we going to still be competing, for the same championship, basically?
Yeah. I mean, some of those schools may not be able, the long term of this. I mean, this is why having a seat at the big boy table is so important, because as time goes on, the money, the separation of wealth is going to be so drastic in a decade that there's going to be teams that are going to be priced out of relevancy, essentially, when it comes to other sports. Like, that's just the way it's going to be,
Yeah.
So I have confidence that we're going to be okay. I really do think that. I mean, I think that we've got a lot to sell. We just need to make our voices heard. And Church was good at doing that. He was a good sales pitch, for sure.
Ty brings up another point. Like, could you imagine being Oregon softball and then you got a road series at Rutgers during the week? I mean, these are the kind of things that are going to be crazy with the new structures, because I mean, like, maybe everybody knows it, but I know Connor and I probably know it the best. But like, man, you travel back and you get home super late from these road trips.
Especially like softball, they're going to fly commercial. They're not getting chartered.
Yeah, like they get back. But when you fly commercial, a lot of times it's better because then you can stay another night and come back the next day. But like say football, I mean, like we would leave and fly home immediately after the game, usually wherever we went. And so like a lot of times I wasn't getting home till 2, 3 in the morning. I mean, granted, you're not working on Sunday morning, but if it was a Thursday night game, that
sucks because you still got
Friday. Yeah, you're still expected to go in Friday morning, and the students a lot of times still have class Friday morning.
Yeah,
and if they're not flying commercial, say it's a men's basketball team that maybe charters, they come home from a Wednesday night game across the country, they're going to still be expected to go to class on Thursday morning, so that's going to be tough.
Mm-hmm.
And for like baseball, like you have your getaway games, but your getaway game is going to start at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
If you're flying all the way back from, does Rutgers have baseball? I don't know. Let's use Maryland because I know they have baseball. From Maryland to Oregon, you're going to be having your getaway game at 9, 10 in the morning. Yeah. That way you know that you can make a flight on Sunday.
It just, I don't know. It just doesn't make any damn sense. I mean, I would expect at some point, if it's like that, like even big schools, like not all their sports are going to be transitioned into the entire conference. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see long-term, like Oregon or Washington's going to play Rutgers regularly. You know what I mean? And like whatever sport that's not football or basketball. Like, I just don't see it happening. Like, that's not gonna stay a thing long term. Like coaches are gonna be sick of it. They're gonna be absolutely sick of it, and it's gonna be a major recruiting deficit to like people will be able to start using that against you, like selling you as a recruit to like why you should come to their school and not go to that school. You know what I mean?
Well,
I mean, like
I know that it's not on the same level, but let's look at the Sun Belt. And then look at the Big Ten. Like the Sun Belt has all of their regional rivalries. It would be like us playing UK in the same conference every year. Like their regional rivalries are always there. You're gonna play close to home. Like the farthest school I think is Texas to West Virginia, which isn't great, but it's not Oregon to New Jersey.
Yeah, I mean it's what is it, Piscataway, New Jersey?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's more or less in New York City. Like you can be in New York City in 30, 45 minutes.
It's just so stupid. I mean, I don't even get into it. Like we're losing the soul of college sports or anything like that. Because to me, like I was saying earlier, like college sports haven't been true amateur sports for a very long time. Like I'm sorry, yes, for a lot of athletes it is still amateur sports, but this amateur sports that the national public really views in and cares about, it hasn't been amateur sports. It's been minor league, so to speak, for a long time. And the whole reason I like this is because it's kind of shifting us more towards like a European model, with what their amateur sports are. We've needed to redefine what the term amateur sports is in this country for a long time. So I'm for it, but it's stupid. Like it doesn't make any logistical sense. That was the one thing that college did that really made college appealing, was that there were regional,
rivalries.
It was rivalries, but there's regional
I
don't even know how to,
I guess. Like I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah, I mean it made sense that certain schools went together. You know what I'm saying? Like what the Big Ten's doing, that shit is stupid. I'm sorry. Like you brought in Rutgers to get in to the New York market. And on hindsight, like, I don't even think that that's even paying off for them now, although they still continue to keep getting huge TV contracts for some dumbass reason. Nobody in New York is buying the Big Ten network. Like, they're not seeing increases in Big Ten cable subscriptions. They're not seeing that.
Well, Rutgers, I can promise you, their NIL starts. It doesn't matter if you're the quarterback or the fifth string kicker. Obviously, the quarterback's going to end up making more in the long run. But when you get on the team, you're making $25,000. That's where their NIL starts, and it doesn't matter what position you are and what position on the depth chart you are.
And the dumb thing to me is like a lot of these teams in these leagues now will literally just never play each other. So it's like it's weird to say that you're in a conference together to me.
They're going to play every other year, maybe.
Not even like there's too many schools in the leagues. Like when you get to 20 plus teams in a league, you're not going to play every other year.
Yeah,
I mean, you probably have some of your student athletes literally never play at one of the member schools.
Well, like think about basketball. Like you have your travel partners, which is fine, but are you going to Rutgers is our extreme example because it's easy. It's easy to pick on Rutgers because they're the farthest Big Ten school. But are you going to have Rutgers fly out to LA, play USC and UCLA, fly back to Piscataway, play 4 games in Piscataway, and then fly back out to Eugene and play Oregon, Washington, and fly back? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Mm-mm.
It's just
another fallacy is like basing your conference expansion on TV deals and stuff. To me, at this point, is kind of very myopic because the days of that is coming to an end. I mean, we already see that with the Bally Sports deal and how many professional teams. There was something like 28 professional sports teams impacted by the Bally Sports.
Yeah, because they had Bally Sports, like Boston, Bally Sports, Northeast, Bally Sports South.
Yeah, I mean, that's just foreshadowing of what's to come with basing so much off of your television rights income. And what's hard to kind of gauge is if you go to owning your own streaming packages. Well, it's like somebody, and maybe this is the reason you get bigger is because if you're the Big Ten, if you don't have UCLA and USC and Oregon and Washington in your league, whenever you do become the Big Ten streaming network, and this is theoretical, I haven't heard anything.
I mean, it's coming. I guarantee it's coming.
I can only assume they are, but why would somebody in Portland, Oregon subscribe to the Big Ten streaming network other than now if they have Oregon in their conference? So,
and that's where the Pac-12 fucked up was they said, I don't want the CW, I don't want whatever they were given, and said, we're just going to go all streaming. What happened was everybody said, you're not going to do that. And they went to Apple and said, let's do it. And then Apple was like, no. And now they're out of a TV contract. And now the Pac-12 doesn't exist. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was cutting Ross's face off there. Sorry, Ross.
No, you're good.
Yeah, Kyle, you definitely missed something.
Ash, I'm with you. I mean, like, I think it's very the choice of word you used was myopic, and it's short-sighted. I mean, Disney's looking to unload ESPN as a company.
Did you see that ESPN just spent $1 billion on Barstool?
No.
I saw them buying their own betting site or whatever.
Yeah, and it's essentially run by Barstool, I think.
Oh, maybe it is. I saw they were buying into a betting site, but I didn't see it was Barstool.
Because Penn
maybe I missed that part though.
Was it is it Penn National then?
Penn sold Barstool back today for $1.
Oh, I missed that.
And yeah. I take that back. I think ESPN is now run by Penn for their ESPN Bet or whatever. And Penn sold Barstool back to Dave for $1 or whatever. But it was something stupid. But for the trade commission, whatever, they had to legally sell it to him.
Yeah, it was definitely Penn, Ty.
But can you pull up Macro's comment?
Barstool.
Can you pull up Macro's comment about Notre Dame?
Yeah, I see it now. You know, I actually am okay. I would be okay with that. Rick Pitino actually tweeted something similar out to that.
Yeah.
And if you had football, football creating their own like conferences or whatever, and then you had all the other sports creating their own, regional conferences, that to me would be much more ideal than what we got going on right now.
Because technically, football isn't like you know what I'm about to say, and it's going to make sense.
It's not governed by the NCAA.
Yes.
Technically.
Yeah,
they're not technically governed by the NCAA, so none of the football money goes to the NCAA.
NCAA.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
why
goes
back to a lawsuit in the 1980s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why these TV contracts are happening.
I think that's some people took it kind of as like shade because he ended that tweet with like something about ACC needs to be doing something or whatever. But, he makes a very good point. Like it would make a lot more sense for all the people at the big boy table in D1 football to just make their own national thing, their own league essentially, and just let the rest of the schools stay in their conferences as is, because that's what's driving all this is that football is the bringer and carrier of money, and then all the other schools have to just basically ride on the coattails of football essentially. So I don't know. I mean, we had a benefit there for a long time. Our basketball program made a lot of money, but
boom, there you go, Kyle.
They're not doing that right now. And hang the 2013 banner in the Camp L&N Stadium. There you go. Yes.
The third banner.
Kyle solved it. Kyle wins. I'm for it.
Hang it right over the Adidas emblem.
I would have hung a banner that said 2, 0, and then a middle finger, and then a 3. Like, I would have hung that up in the all day. That might some people might say it's tacky, but again, I said everybody wants to label us the villain and the bad guy anyway, so we might as well just wear the hat and do it. You know what I mean?
So Notre Dame is never joining a football conference. I can go on record saying that today, and it'll probably still be true in 20 years.
I agree with you. And the thing of it is, I think it's all stubbornness on both parties.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is very rightly so on Notre Dame's side, because they have a great deal right now. But on
they have their own TV deal, and they get NBC whenever they want.
The rest of the ACC side, if they would just let Notre Dame join the league and keep their own home TV rights, like they did in 2020, that would be the best of both worlds for both parties, because Notre Dame would get in that league. They would still get to keep their TV deal, but Notre Dame's road games would be included in the TV package and boost the TV package. So,
and you get more money to ACC network. Like,
everybody would just be jealous of Notre Dame for having that separate TV deal, and that's the only reason it'll never happen, because they're too prideful. But to me, I've always said that just let them keep that TV deal of their own, and just bring them into the damn league.
Because none of their games
that's the only real reason they stay separate, is to keep all that money.
None of their games are on NBC if they're away from home anyway.
Well, because the away games are not included in their package.
Yeah.
They only have their TV rights to their home games. And that's
so
why
either way, they're going to be on ESPN. So, like, why does it matter?
Yeah. I mean, just let them keep their home TV package that they already own.
Because
and it boosts their away games.
If that happens, then that's FSU going along with, okay, well, this school has more of a brand and national following than we do, and they have to admit that.
Well, they do.
Which is what they're bitching about right now is that they want unequal revenue sharing for the conference because they feel like they bring more, that their brand brings more to the ACC.
They're going to get public funding from a certain group overseas to try to get out of the grant of rights.
Yeah, well, we'll see. That would be. Well, that's a wait and see. I don't know, but I mean, the whole thing with the ACC members with having to admit that to let Notre Dame come in and let them keep their home money is the same crap that the Big 12 dealt with the Longhorn Network in Texas. It's the same stuff. And they all the other Big 12 members hated it. Like, they hated it. It just creates a lot of resentment. So I don't know. I mean, I thought I saw somebody make a really good point earlier tonight on the Discord. It's like, if all the football schools would just kind of do their own thing and they would make Notre Dame have to join a league to be able to play for a national championship, then it would solve everything. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. But they're not going to join the ACC if they get forced into joining a league and splitting up that revenue and not being able to keep their own package. And Ty, he says it sounds good, but FSU would lose their shit. Yeah, they might, but let them, because FSU doesn't have the same. Like, FSU has a very good football tradition, but they don't have that same clout as far as like monetary power with TV revenue and things like that.
Not even close.
You put Notre Dame, if you put their away games in the ACC grant of rights, you're going to get more money anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
if you want them in the league, that's the only way it's going to happen. Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's a reality. I'm saying it's the only chance you have of getting them into the league is if you let them keep their deal. And you already did it once.
Yeah.
And I think the only reason that happened was to play football in 2020. That is the only reason it happened.
I agree. And like I said, I don't think it's necessarily, a likelihood or something that will happen or even a possibility, really. But my theory is that it's the only way it would happen is if you offered to let them keep their deal.
Hold on. At a meeting Wednesday, the ACC presidents further explored expansion and again put off a vote. Imagine that. Shocker.
Well, but that's not, I mean, that's kind of the way it went even with the Big Ten. You heard Oregon and Washington were being explored, and then they kind of put it off, and then a few months later you heard, oh, well, now they're going to pursue. So it's kind of like it never comes all out at once.
Well, that's from Ross. So
I mean, there's always stages to these things.
Well,
because it was like 5 months ago that we heard Oregon and Washington with the Big Ten. So
hell, it was last year. It was the same time. It was the same time last year as when.
So it's not like it's weird that you wouldn't all of a sudden just have that instantly happening.
He said this signals that disagreement exists among the group, and at least 4 schools are pushing back. The league needs 12 votes of the 15 members.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. To me, if you read the tea leaves, there's a lot of things to show that this is a legitimate thing that's, at this point, I think is more likely to happen than not happen. Have Cal and Stanford and SMU come, especially like, there's not a lot of, okay, so for example, when Washington and Oregon and all that was going down, a week ago, right?
Yeah.
Like, you really weren't getting a lot of information out of Washington and Oregon's camps. They were staying real quiet. You know what I mean? Like, are we hearing anything from Stanford, Cal, SMU? No, you're not hearing anything. They're staying quiet. So it tells me that they're listening, and they also don't want to hurt their chances of it actually happening. You know what I'm saying? By saying something stupid and putting something out there. So, I mean, if I was a betting man, I would say that this is gonna happen. I don't think it really does much for the league, to be honest. I really don't. It gives you more power in numbers, I guess, whatever the hell that means. I mean,
nothing now.
Well, and did you guys see where the president of Washington State came out and said they won't be joining a league that they have to travel cross country to play games? It's like,
yeah, and he doesn't want to join the Mountain West either.
Yeah, because like if I'm the Mountain West, I'm like, I see a throat exposed. I'm just going to say, no, you guys ain't joining our league. That's one more team out of our way.
Well, I was told Mountain West is getting Oregon State and Washington State.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm the Mountain West, I'm just looking at them saying, bye, guys. Go try to be independent.
So Narvaez was on the radio in Boise today and said, we don't want to get in the way of anything with Oregon State and Washington State, but we're ready for you.
Yeah, see, to me, that's a mistake because you got a chance to just put two schools away that would no longer be competition for your league. Because I don't think they're going to help them monetarily, really.
And their budgets are bigger than anybody in the league.
Well, they won't be for long. I mean, the problem Washington State faces is the school has been really, really on shaky ground financially for the last 10 to 12 years. So they're once they start losing some of that Power 5 revenue, they're going to be in pretty dire straits.
Well, they might be even bigger, a bigger creek come next year.
Well, and then the other thing that's going to really impact them, and Connor, you'll understand this, is, and I forget what the dollar amount is, but currently in the state of Washington, if you make less than $52,000 a year, you are not able to be exempt from overtime. Well, a year from now, that actually goes up to like 65,000, I think is what the number is.
So everybody that works on a Saturday, overtime.
Yeah, so like if it's a game weekend, if you make less than whatever that dollar amount is, you make overtime regardless of whether you're exempt.
That's wild. That sounds great. I need to move to Washington.
Yeah, so like think about how many athletic department employees are going to be making overtime that don't anywhere else really. And it just sounds like not very much money when you're just kind of like bantering about it. But when you think about how many people that impacts, it actually over the course of a year, that becomes a lot of money.
And like a small athletic department, like your entire administration is there.
Yeah.
So like anybody that's paid under $65,000, and
I don't remember the exact dollar. I use 65 as like a placeholder number because I can't remember the exact.
Yeah, and let's just say it's 65. A lot of your people are not making $65,000.
No,
like
because the reason a friend of mine, he was at Washington State recently, and whenever the law got changed to where it went up to 52, a lot of the athletic department employees got raises to 52,000.
Of course they did, right?
For that exact reason,
which tells you it was going to cost them a lot more in the long run.
So, but they've already come out and said they are not raising everybody to what the new threshold is going to be.
So everybody that works games, like they're going to try to hire student workers out the ass,
right?
So they don't have to have
or make people take time off during the week, which sucks.
Yeah. Or they're going to work Monday through Thursday, off Friday, and have to work Saturday or something. Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that person is also another Moorhead grad, by the way.
Is he the one that just left and went to Vandy?
I'm not going to confirm or deny.
Oh, man.
But yeah, that's crazy to me. Like how high, like salaries, the employment stuff out there in that state have just gotten crazy.
And they don't have state income tax either, right?
Yeah, there's no income tax. That was the nice thing when I lived in Washington was, we didn't have income tax, but we don't have it here in Texas either. So
we don't have it in Tennessee, baby.
And in Washington, it was nice because you could drive across the river and go into Oregon anytime you need to buy stuff because there was no sales tax in Oregon.
Or you can go to Idaho
or you could go to Montana. No, Idaho had sales tax.
Oh yeah, I know that. But like,
Montana does not either. So
I didn't know Montana didn't, but I mean, Oregon doesn't need it because they tax their, weed shops out the ass anyway. So,
well, who's from Montana? Isn't Bobby Petrino from Montana? Yeah, he never really knew that about the sales tax.
Oh my. Okay, so funny story. While I was in Boise, I had on the radio, and I'm listening to this guy, and then I realized it's the Idaho coaches call-in show, and I swore I was listening to Bobby. I was like, "Who the fuck is it? Oh shit, it's Paul Pitino."
Paul Pitino, yeah.
They sound just alike.
No,
Macro
I don't know
says
if
we
any
need
of y'all
to.
have been. I don't know if any of y'all been here in Rutherford over about the past week, but he's been doing Bobby impressions, and they're so good. They are spot on. He's like, and they were doing all this stuff with. I didn't even know you could do that with hair. And I mean, it's. I hope Mike, if you're somehow watching this, man, I got much love for that Petrino impression, dude. It is so good. It's hilarious.
I like your impression.
Laughing at Ty's comment about going to be sick to watch ACC after dark. It makes me laugh. The comment makes me laugh even harder because when I lived out west, they used to complain about night games. We love everybody in this room loves night games. We always talk about being able to tailgate, and do your stuff during the day and then tailgate and then have the night game. But if you had a 7:00 kick there in the Pacific Northwest, people were getting pissed. They were so mad about night games. So having these these kickoffs in the morning for them is going to be right up their alley because they would get so angry about a night game.
So at Boise, in their TV contract with Fox, it says that they cannot kick off after a certain time. I think they have a 15-minute TV slide, but they cannot kick after 7:30 Mountain Time or something like that.
I just never got it because I'm like, man, you get to sleep in and then tailgate all afternoon and then go to the game when it's not hot in the sun.
Yeah,
but they just didn't get it, man. It was just different out there. Let's see.
Yeah,
Kyle. Wait till Cal plays us at home at noon. That's so true, man. And I would be getting ready for a home. We'd have a home kick at usually 1. That was a pretty common time for us to have kickoffs was at 1. And so I'd be getting things ready in the stadium, watching the UofL game while I'm getting ready at maybe 10:00 in the morning. I'd be watching the UofL game while I'm getting ready for our games. So yeah, I mean that's exactly right. I missed the damn the game we played where Lamar went crazy against Florida State. We had a fucking home game, and I didn't get to watch the game until later. And of course, everybody kept coming up to me and talking about it.
63. What was it? 63, 21, 24?
I was there. So the person that I rode with was like, fuck this. This is over. This game sucks. I was like, okay. Why? He was like, because Florida State's not winning. I was like, okay. So we left and it was 56-10. And we're walking back to the car at the fairgrounds. And I hear the place go nuts. We fucking scored again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was amazing.
That was a good game though.
Yeah, I was down there at 3:00 in the morning.
So was I at Red Rage.
I was tailgating. Yeah, getting ready for the game day crew and everything. Yeah, it was awesome.
Michael Leaves was there at Red Rage before.
Well, and then here's the other question that I have. Say Cal and Stanford were to join the league, right? Usually your ESPN deal or whatever network you have the deal with, I just use an ESPN, but it has built-in time slots to the deal. Like, for instance, one of the ACCs is at noon Eastern time.
So is Stanford?
Would they have Cal and Stanford play a home game at freaking 9 a.m.?
Boise's playing a home game at 10 a.m. this year.
The thing of it is like they actually the Pac-12 actually considered doing that a few years ago. So maybe this is the whole end game for these Pac-12 schools is they wanted to play 9 a.m. football games.
Yeah,
Cal versus Rutgers, or not Cal, USC versus Rutgers at 9 a.m. Pacific time.
Yeah.
Like, I guarantee that's going to happen at least once.
Oh,
well, that's what I said. It doesn't surprise me that, they'd be all for it because the Pac-12 talked about having 9 o'clock kicks just a few years ago.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'll tell you what, man, those games are going to be fun to bet on spreads because when I would bet NFL football, like you would, I like looking for the West Coast teams coming east, man, because they usually didn't perform as well.
No.
Well, actually, if you look at the overall records for teams going either way across country, it's usually not very good for the road team.
Yeah.
Unless your name's the Jacksonville Jaguars and you love London.
That's true. Well, that's talking more college, but
yeah. Well, it's a good thing they like playing there because they're probably going to end up there.
They play like 3 London games this year too, I think.
Yeah, well, there's a reason for that because their owner wants to move him out of Duval. So he wants to move over there. So, and I think the NFL wants to move him over there because they've got their rocks on to try to get NFL popular in Europe again since the NFL.
Well, they own a soccer team in London too.
The NFL does?
No, the Khan family that own the Jaguars.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he's like stupid rich and has a lot of money.
Yeah.
Doesn't he have oil money? Like legitimate oil money?
I don't know.
I have no idea. No,
I don't know where their money came from.
When did he buy them? He bought them what, like 7 years ago?
Something like that.
I don't know. I don't remember how long it's been, honestly.
I forgot that had happened. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to end up over
Scotland bagpipes. There we go.
Your routine. Oh,
hey, man. Navy and Notre Dame are playing the first game in Ireland this year.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Navy's going to get their ass kicked.
I mean, probably. It's Navy. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Sorry, that's funny.
I can't see it.
It's the guy in the front has ACC on his head, and behind him is a guy with a gun in his back, and it says Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. Yeah.
It's just weird, like how badly the ACC leadership though has bungled everything because I don't know. It just felt like the writing was on the wall. It's like, how could they let the Big 12 outmaneuver them? That to me is just mind blowing.
Well, and again,
Big 12 was dead in the water.
That's what I was saying.
I mean, they had a transition with their commissioner and everything. It's like,
so what I was saying earlier, like it just feels like the league's been very reactionary or just stagnant altogether. Like, and here's the thing, we don't know, like, again, maybe you've got teams like FSU and Clemson and those types of teams that are saying, well, no, like these they feel that they carry a brand recognition that is higher and better than, say, like a Baylor or something, and they don't want to bring in any new blood, and they don't want to give them a piece of the pie, and they just don't feel like it brings anything to the TV deal for them. You know what I mean? So
Notre Dame wants to add Stanford and Cal.
Yeah.
And SMU offered to go from 5 years of getting no TV revenue
correct
to 7 years.
Wow.
Of getting
I say bring them in. If they're going to go 7 years with no TV revenue, why not?
Yeah, but it needs to be dispersed evenly amongst the rest of the ACC schools. You know what I mean? Like, if that's
they don't need to have accelerator clauses or whatever.
Not some team not doing unequal revenue, because like when Ross Dellinger came on the show, he told us when you go to that unequal revenue sharing model, that's the beginning of the end. That's like that's when the divorce papers are filed.
What I'd be okay with is if there's like a performance bonus, like say you have, and I'm just using theoretical numbers right now. Say your total pool is, and this is way low, but say your total pool would be $1 million. Every school gets, say,
Whatever a million divided by 15 is.
Yeah, like, and then the 16th share is a bonus pool money or whatever. And if you go to the playoff and you win the national championship, you get X bonus money out of the pool. If you have certain measurements that you achieve, then your school gets a bonus. And so, like, you keep a portion of the TV revenue separate in order to pay out those bonuses. So then the schools that are doing better do get more money. And so then in theory, your schools like Florida State and Clemson should be able to over time make more money.
When you go to basketball,
but then anybody can make it.
And you get a share up until the Final Four. Like, yeah. I don't remember what the exact
win share. Man, I used to know that too, because when I worked
26,000, isn't it, or something like 26 or 20?
That. Yeah, it's more than that.
36? I don't know, but I used to know what the number was too, but I forgot. But
it was like hugely important though for us.
For like small schools, yeah. But like say it's 25. It's an easy number to add. So say we have 10 schools that make the NCAA tournament. They all win one game. Times 25,000 times 10. And then say you have 8 teams in the Sweet 16. 50,000. So yeah, it's late and I don't want to do math, but that's a lot of money that is going directly back to the conference, and it's spread amongst everybody.
Well, Macro brings up a good point that FSU signed the TV revenue contract in 2016 when they were ranked number 2 in the nation. They should have demanded more then. He's absolutely right. If they didn't like the situation, they should have been demanding more at that time. So, I mean, it's kind of on them. Anthony Eason says that I can't believe all the teams agreed to a TV deal that lasts 10 years. Kind of the explanation behind that, though, is that people were starting to see that there was a bubble, and that the fear was that TV deals were going to start declining in value. And so the ACC's position at that time when they signed that 10-year deal was, if we can lock in this dollar amount for this amount, then we will start declining, further into the future than other leagues.
Well, and now
the bubble was going to burst, and then it was going to go down.
It's just getting bigger.
Right. And unfortunately the bet has kind of gone the other way. They actually continued to go up rather than start to come back down.
Eventually it's going to
but that's the reason why they signed a 10-year deal. So it's like there was some logic in that actually was there was some level of soundness to that agreement to sign a 10-year deal. I mean, it wasn't totally just we're just going to do something stupid.
I thought it was longer than that, wasn't it?
I don't remember how long it was. I'm going off of Anthony. I know it was a longer deal than what you normally saw.
It's through 2036.
I thought it was 32. I thought it was through 2032. I could be wrong.
It's 2030 something. It's a lot
longer. But that was the whole premise behind the deal, was that the assumption was that TV contracts were going to start coming down because your regional sports networks and your ESPNs weren't going to be able to pay the same amounts that they were going to be able to pay in the past. So, I mean, there was a little bit of reasoning behind signing a long deal.
Well, and then the regional networks went away, and now the ACC has 2 national contracts. Yeah. They have one with ESPN and they have one with the CW. Thank God. Now we don't have to.
Getting into the weeds a little bit by talking about that a little bit too much, but
yeah. But now we don't have to find the game on Bally Sports Egypt or whatever we're playing on.
I thought the whole thing with the 2036 is that you had conferences like Big Ten and SEC trying to poach schools, and by locking in that contract, you were basically giving the ACC stability by locking them in with a grant of rights for that long.
Well, you were doing that. That was for the third tier rights, though.
That's why you need the 9 people.
Yeah,
you were creating conference stability for all your all your conference mates. But on the flip side of that, you also locked us into this TV contract that we can't get out of, and it's really, really shitty. Like, it's a bad TV deal, you know.
That's for the third tier rights, so the grant of rights is.
Yeah. So, you know, I don't. It's just it's a lot that goes into it, but you know, it's just. I don't know what the answer is. I really don't. Like, I'm not opposed to Cal and Stanford and SMU coming in. I just don't want other schools that perceive themselves as big dogs in the conference trying to get more money unless they actually earn it. Like, I would be totally with what you're saying, Ash. Like there's earned incentives, just like there are in player contracts. You know, they've got incentive bonuses. You know, I would be all for that. Like, that's very fair. Like, I would be for that, but I don't want somebody just getting like, oh, well, we bring more to the conference because we're so and so. Like, there's no way to even measure that really accurately. I mean, you know, who's to say who's bringing more?
Uh-oh. We lost Ross.
Shocker.
Uh-oh.
He fat-fingered his phone again. That's what he's going to say.
Well, and it gave me like a weird message right before he cut out, and it usually doesn't do that. Oh, there he is.
I fat-fingered. My bad.
I was right.
Because normally, this time it gave me a weird like error or something when you went off, and normally when you cut out, it just goes away instantly without that little error warning sign.
I'm sure you heard it. Egypt. I'm sure you heard it. I said, I guarantee he's going to say I fat fingered my phone as soon as he comes back in here.
No, I didn't hear you say that, but I did because I was trying to click on the chat. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it just, what did they say? What was that comment? Valley Sports Egypt. Hey,
Valley Sports is the worst, man.
We'll get to relive the glory days of Honest Mahmood. I mean, I'm, you know.
Hey, if he should be on TBT, damn it.
Yeah. I mean, supposedly he's been doing pretty dang well in wherever he's playing. So, I don't know.
I haven't tracked on Honest Mahmood at all.
Yeah.
Hey, we already got 2 more guards for TBT next year. That's more than Kenny has.
We have one of them's Tyler Johnson.
Oh, he's playing for TBT?
Too soon?
Oh, man. Jeez.
Well, he's got about 16 days for him to get in class.
Are we gonna it's gonna be the ESPN 30 for 30, the Louisville, the best that never was.
Instead of Earl, it's Tyler. Is Tyler on campus yet?
God.
Terrible.
Do we know how to say his name? Is it Tyler?
I think it's Tyler, I think.
I don't know. I saw it both ways whenever I was looking stuff up online where some of them was just making it pronounced just like Tyler.
Yeah.
Tyler and then
I think Kenny called him Tyler.
So we'll see if he makes it to campus, we'll see how they pronounce it in the media guide.
Ross, I need you
to not coming. Yeah, Kyle's
Ross,
right.
I need your Kenny Payne impression right now.
I need you. What do you want,
boys?
I need you about Tyler. It's just
Tyler, he's coming. We're still waiting to hear from him. In his grades. I ain't got it tonight, man. I'm sorry.
We're confident that he's still gonna be here.
Yeah. No, I ain't got the juice tonight, man. I just don't have it. I don't feel it, you know.
Did you go before you were on the show tonight?
No, I was sitting on the couch.
Oh.
I had a hard day at work, man.
Sound like a dream chaser, baby.
And we had somebody out, and I was covering his inbox. So I was doing my inbox isn't too busy sometimes, but his is pretty busy. So I was doing his work and my work. So
I don't think anybody from my work will be watching the a show about Louisville basketball or Louisville sports. So we work mostly remote. Like I go into the office. We're supposed to go in every Tuesday and then one other day during the week of our choosing. We got like an event coming up later this month, and one of my coworkers, she's like in her 20s, like she just graduated, and she messaged me today going, let me see what she said exactly. No, because I got to get this right, because this is actually it blew me away.
She's gonna bust her head real hard.
She's gonna just stumble upon this on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, he called me out.
You're gonna start getting your group texts are gonna start blowing up with your workmates.
Oh, she messaged me on dial pad, not.
So I'll just throw and say what I had to say about work today. I went to football practice and I was standing there on the sidelines, and I'm like, shit. My coach just bitched somebody out about his body language, and he had me thinking about my body language, thinking that I wasn't ready to play. He had me fired up.
Yeah. Did you find it?
Oh yeah, she goes, have you ever had to create a mail merge before for letter stickers using our printer? I'm like, letter stickers?
Stamps?
I'm like, and so I responded just like, did you mean address labels?
Letter stickers. Oh my God.
And she's like, yes, with a smiley face. And I'm like, why? She's like, I can't figure it out. And I'm like, my house is like 30 minutes from the office. So
can you ask somebody that's there, please?
And like, because I was working from home, I was in basketball shorts and a t-shirt. So I had to change clothes and drive all the way to the office just so I could print these mailing labels for her. Or address labels.
Letter labels.
Yeah, letter stickers. Letter stickers.
Did you ask her what model the printer was? And then she should have told you, and you said, okay, I got it. I want you to go on YouTube and type in how to make address labels on this model printer, and it'll come up 100%. Like, you can find anything. Hell, I think 10 years ago you could figure out how to make your own Manhattan Project on YouTube.
And I'm like, couldn't you just Google this? Like,
you could be your own Oppenheimer, damn it.
But other than that, like I like her a lot. So she's a good coworker, and she's helped me out a lot on other things. But I was just like, letter stickers. Like, I've never heard anybody call them letter stickers. I was like, what are you talking about? Kyle over here, Ruben Owens says a 502 number sticker.
My first thought when you said that was stamps, and I was like, you can't print off stamps. Yeah. You have to go to somewhere to get stamps.
Well, we do have a machine that'll print the postage on there. But
I'm picturing Ash like in his boxers and like a white tee, and you're just eating a bowl of Cheerios. I'm really busy right now.
My stapler.
You came from the swing line to the ball stick, and then the squirrels got married.
We fixed the glitch.
Yeah. I'm working from home. I can't come in. Sorry.
I'm not coming in for your damn letter, whatever the hell she called it.
I had to look it up because I had to get that right. I was like, why would you call them letter stickers?
Oh man.
We lost the crowd. Well, I think we've just about worn everybody out tonight.
Yeah.
Any last words, Connor?
Maybe there's some fake letter stickers somewhere in the football facility.
Well, from me tonight, thanks everybody who stuck around and watched. Thank you guys for and Kyle, Ross Pictures. Please don't.
What'd he say?
He says Ross Pictures Ash in his boxers is the most insight I've gained from this pod tonight.
Hey, you should have learned about fucking TV contracts, because that's all we talked about.
I know we talked about some really thrilling topics, and me and Cotton are going too far into.
I'm still here. Hold on a second. I'm still here.
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, hold on. I'm looking for something real quick.
Oh, okay. But I just wanted to thank everybody for watching tonight. If you got any feedback from the show, make sure you make comments in the comment section. Please like and subscribe and got the notifications turned on. Next week, Ty's prepared a special Jeopardy game for us, so looking forward to that.
Ross looks like he's really concentrating.
Kyle will be back next week, so you'll have.
Yeah, sorry, I am. I'm trying to find this again. Y'all know I do this on my phone. It's hard to see. I know.
When you get you an actual webcam and mic set up?
I'm just on my laptop. Like,
I have a laptop. I just don't like. I tried to use it. I used it one show, I think, but it just, I don't know. I didn't like it. So, anyway, I wanted to give a shout out before we get out of here. I want to give a shout out to Shine Bright Tie Dyes. All right. This dude is awesome. He is awesome. He makes great tie-dye shirts. And I just wanted to give a big shout out to him. He's awesome to work with. And if you all get a chance, go check him out. Shine Bright Tie Dyes. His name's Logan. So
for that advertisement, he should send us some free third banner pod swag.
Hey man, I told him about our pod. We talked about it.
Donate to the 502 Circle so we can support our athletes in their NIL endeavors.
Dude, I just want swag for myself. I don't care about the 502 Circle.
So, anyways, that's all I got to say.
That's a lot of shirt there, Ross.
Hey, man, it looks like fire. Look, it's badass.
Fire.
Dude, it's so good. It looks even better. And he sent me a pair of free socks, too.
Free socks. We're getting old when we start getting excited about free socks.
No, they're tie-dye socks. They're awesome.
They're better lingerie.
Is that what you wear to your volleyball games, Ross? You wear tie-dye socks?
No, I don't wear any socks. It's hot right now. Now, when it's cold, I'll wear some socks. But it's hot. I'm not wearing socks. It's barefoot.
Yeah.
Sand volleyball.
Oh, I thought it was like indoor volleyball.
No, it's sand volleyball, bro.
I had this image that you were in like a middle school gym playing volleyball.
No, man. It's sand volleyball. So
I would kill myself trying to play sand volleyball.
I made an awesome dig yesterday. I'm just gonna brag on myself a little bit because nobody else will do it. But
so Neil's comment of you tearing your ACL might actually become a thing playing sand volleyball.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is now it's like I work at a desk job, so like I could just sit there and hurt. You know what I mean? Like I ain't got to actually do anything with my knee, so. That'd be okay. It'd be worth it. So,
as long as you got a highlight out of it,
you don't have to worry about letter stickers.
Yeah, letter stickers. So,
all right, guys. Well, we'll let you sign it off, Ross.
Y'all, thank you so much. Go Cards, go Kroger.